What I would love to know as we get started is obviously time is the most valuable asset you have. Extremely grateful for this opportunity to support you and be a part of this. What are you hoping for? Like, why are you giving me your time? Like, what are you hoping for? Let me know in the chat. I would love to hear, like, love to know because at the end of the day, I'm assuming all of you want to make more money, become a better power user of Wave. That's exactly what I'm here to help you do. And I'm pretty excited about doing that. It's going to be great. No worries on chat being disabled. Just use the Q&A function. I'll get it fixed for the next session. Got the Philippines in the house. Really cool. Nice. Optimize the system, become a better power user of Wave. Good. You guys are in the right spot. Excellent. Yes. Awesome. Good, good, good. Trying to maximize how to use Wave. Yep, you're in the right spot. You're in the right spot. Awesome. I'm going to share my screen here, and I just want to get confirmation that y'all can see this. Okay, so you should be able to see my screen right now. You should see a define design do document. Can you let me know in the chat if you can see that? Again, you can use the Q&A function, just so I know, making sure we're on the same page that you can see it. Now you should see the win in age of AI. Perfect. Yeah, Charles, you can leave voicemails after one or two have already been left. That's fine. Most people don't check voicemails, but that's fine. Learn how to use Wave. Perfect. Better user so I can see. Yes, I can see it. Perfect. Great, guys. Excellent. Excellent. Awesome. Perfect. Yes, Wayne, this is going to be recorded. And yes, I will provide you with a copy of the presentation so that everyone can have it. So you have access to all of it. If anybody on the Wave team can potentially make the chat available, that would be great. If not, we'll use the Q&A for today. It's totally okay. And yes, just to answer questions up front, I will give you this document at the end of the session, and I also will do Q&A. I'll also make sure this is recorded so you guys can rewatch this at any point, and we'll kind of rock and roll and get into it, okay? So with that being said, we're going to get started. First and foremost, I just want to say a huge thank you to the Wave team. I myself am a Wave user. We've been using Wave for quite some time over at my other company, Prospecting on Demand. And we've have the pleasure of working with Malia and Caden and Spencer and Mark and just the amazing, amazing team at Wave to help ultimately the users get better. And I want you to know, like on the back end, the reason why they wanted to do this accelerator is because all of you are already doing the work, right? You're already leveraging the software. What they want to help you do is become a power user of Wave. They want you to get more results and actually leverage it to the results that you've been hoping for, right? Getting more conversations, more booked appointments, more closed deals, more efficient use of your time and your team's time, and ultimately meaning more money in your pocket. Right? If you want to make more money, I think this goes without saying, but if you do, can you drop a 7 in the Q&A so I know? I just want to know if you want to make more money. Just making sure we're on the same page here. So I'm aware. I'm going to assume I'm going to see a bunch of 7s. I just want to clarify, make sure we're on the same page. Beautiful. Good. Excellent. You're in the right call. You're in the right call. That's exactly right. You're doing the right thing. And are super, super excited to have you here. Now, the gap right now for you guys is not the effort, right? And if it is for any of you, that's okay. No judgment on my end. But the reality is most people on Wave are doing the calling. It's more so how you can leverage it more effectively. You have a world-class tool. I mean, Wave is an absolutely incredible dialer, and you have a team that are absolutely hungry to ensure that you're getting the best support possible, which is why they started this accelerator, right? Now, really, the entire idea of this is having a tool and knowing how to squeeze every single dollar out of it are very different things, right? Most people never get to the second one. And that's what we're going to fix here. That's what we're going to fix in this accelerator. We're going to tie your work to your specific goal with a simple math equation that will then help you optimize it week over week until the results match the amount of effort you're already putting in. So there is going to be more work that I'm asking of you, but more work will lead you to making more money. That's the idea. Now, in order to set the container, today we're going to be talking about winning in the age of AI because that's really what it is today and how it's actually your moat instead of it being some disadvantage or some concern that it's going to take over your job. It won't, right? I'm going to show you exactly how. But before we get into that and we talk about kind of the curriculum and what we have planned for today and in the future, I want to talk about how this room works because it's really, really important. In order for coaching to work, we have to set the culture here for the accelerator. Number one, there is no bad or wrong or dumb questions. The only bad, wrong, or dumb question is the one that you didn't ask because you're afraid that it sounds dumb. Nobody here is here to judge you, including me or anybody on the Wave team or any of your colleagues here on this call. Nobody, right? And if they are here to judge, they're not in the right spot. We're here for a zero judgment zone. You can ask me any questions you need. You can ask me for clarification. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We're here to help you, right? Make sure that you ask the questions you need. Number two, I want to make this point really clear. No one is better than somebody because they've made more money. Okay. We're not here to be sanctimonious. We're not here to say, I'm better than you. This is the only way. If you don't do it this way, you're stupid. That's not what we're here to do. We're here in a collaborative effort to help you win. That's it. That's as simple as it gets. That's why I'm here. I'm here to serve. I love serving. I love helping. That's my identity. That's how I was raised. That's how I represent my last name appropriately. That's how I represent my kids. That's how I am the best version of myself by helping people. Genuinely. I mean that wholeheartedly. If you guys can come in here in the accelerator and you get an insight that helps you get a higher commission check, that helps you provide better for your family, that brings you more confidence, that makes you more competent, then that means we've done a good job. And that's something that I take very seriously. And I'm sure you guys resonate with that as well. I'm not better than anybody because I run an eight-figure marketing agency or a seven-figure coaching program. I'm just like you. I'm in the trenches with you. I use Wave. I do dialing. I dial for dollars. I'm here to help. Okay. If you vibe with that, drop a one in the chat. Again, it'll be the Q&A for now, but that's fine. I just want to know if we're on the same page. Oh, did the chat work now? I think we fixed the chat, guys. Check out the chat. Check out the chat. If you can drop it in. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. Okay, now you can use the Q&A for actual questions. Kaden or Cassie, if you guys can clean the Q&A, that would be perfect because I think it's just a bunch of, you can answer like remove all of them. That would be great if you don't mind. Excellent. Good. Now we have the chat. Heck yeah, let's go. All right, now let's talk about the ultimate goal, like we said, right? You want to make more money using Wave? If you want to be in the top 5% who maximize their commissions every month with Wave, then you're in the right place. What we did is we audited what the current winners at Wave are doing, and we're going to provide that to you over the next coming weeks. That's the idea, including today. I'll give you some money models today that will help you win. All right? That will help you win. So let's talk about why POD. Like, why did Wave partner with us at Prospecting on Demand? We were brought in specifically to help you. Okay. We are not just some random vendor or someone they found off the street. We are also a Wave client. We dial for dollars. We've worked with Wave for, I'd say, approximately 3 to 4 years at this point. It's been a while. We've also worked with other companies in the Wave umbrella under Green Seed, which we're super grateful for. And we know what it takes. We know what it takes to make more money and make you a master of this tool. We also know your world particularly, right? If you can drop in the chat what your world is specifically, whether it's real estate or solar, financial advisors, selling insurance, let me know in the chat specifically what you sell. Most people, I'm assuming, are going to say the same thing. That's what I expected. So here's the thing, like we've worked with well over 200 plus companies that do exactly what you do. Selling insurance, doing real estate, selling solar, selling with financial advising. We know these models. My dad himself is a financial advisor. I know the model very well. My brother sells insurance. I know this stuff. And we're here to help you and make sure that it makes sense for where you're at right now. Okay. We know what it's also like when your income depends on your next conversation. We know how difficult that can be. We're going to help you sharpen your skills. That's what we're here to do. Right now, one thing I would ask you to do is just have an open mind. This doesn't mean that you aren't already very good. Nobody is here suggesting that you're bad. That's not what we're doing. If we can get you 1% better, 5% better, 10% better, that can have a massive effect downline to ensuring you get more money in your pocket. You impact more people. You support your family better. You have more predictability in your income. That's what we're here to do. Sharpen your skills. Okay. Now we've been doing this for a long time. Like I said, I've been running an eight-figure business for the last 15 years. It's not been eight figures all 15 years, the last few years, but 7 to 8 figures for a decade and a half. Richard, who's the other coach in the program, he'll be here on the next call. Richard has 20 plus years of experience running sales teams, including using dialers just like Wave. And he also sold his company for 7 figures just a couple of years ago with these methodologies we'll be teaching you. Okay. Now, we've also done 10 plus years running a coaching program, teaching 1,500 plus sales teams selling all sorts of different products with how to properly communicate with prospects, how to sell on a sales call, but also how to sell a sales call. We're going to teach you both of them. Okay. And lastly, as I noted, we're here to serve. Truly, we're here to serve. Nothing fires me up more than watching our clients win. That's what we're here to do. I want to see you and revel in your victories with you. That's the whole job. But it's really not just a job, honestly. It's not a duty. It really is a pleasure, honestly. So just come play full out with us. Give us a shot. It's okay if you're skeptical at the beginning. I think it will probably fade away within the next 20 minutes, I would hope, right? But give us a shot. Give yourself a shot. Let me show you what it takes. I'll bring a big game. I'll speak a big game, but I'll back it up. I'll back it up. All that I ask you to do is back it up also. Put in the work. You say you're going to do the things you say you're going to do, then do them. Back up your word. Be a man or woman of your word, and you will get the result that you want. You will learn. You will grow. That's why Wave brought us here. That's why. Okay. If that sounds good to you guys, drop fives in the chat so I know. If you feel good about that, you feel aligned with that, you're like, heck yeah, I want to get into it. Let's go. Beautiful. I love it. All right. Let's talk about the stakes now. Let's talk about the stakes. Let's talk about what's happening in outbound dialing in general, like in the marketplace, right? Let's talk about the honest truth first. Outbound is harder than it's ever been, right? Pickup rates are down, people are guarded, the grind is real. I looked at a lot of your intake answers. A lot of you went through and put in the intake on the client success form, which I'll share with you here in just a bit. It's right here. We'll send this to you for the sales accelerator, but a lot of you did it already. And I would say the number one challenge is not that you're being lazy. It's you're putting in a lot of work. You're dialing hundreds of people probably daily, but it's not about effort that's missing its leverage. And then there's a lot of people not picking up. Now, Wave has put together a ton of resources for spam protection, for having local numbers to make it easier for you to get pickups, right? But in general, we have to come to grips with the reality that, pickup rates are down. People are more guarded than usual. There is a grind required here. Does anyone feel like they're grinding? Can you let me know in the chat? I'm assuming many people feel that way. The other element is what's changing in the marketplace, right? Companies are swapping human callers for AI dialers. Has anyone's current company seen that they've tried AI dialing? Has anyone done that? Right? And people do that to cut commission costs. Here's the good news for you, though. Consumers hate it. Do you hate it? I hate it. Have you ever been cold called or dialed or warm called by a robot? Sucks, right? Sucks. Now, Emmett said here, I don't know if you guys can see it. He said they have to opt into AI callers. You're totally right. That's what compliance lessons are. Unfortunately, Emmett, as you know, plenty of companies don't care. They'll just do it anyways. They'll just do it anyways. Now, the good thing is 99% of the people out there that you're trying to sell to cannot stand AI dialing. They can't. And so what ends up happening is instead of it becoming an advantage for companies, it's become the biggest disadvantage. And so your jobs are not at threat. In fact, you will not be replaced because the human that can actually connect with prospects, the ones that can actually skillfully communicate in a flooded market become way more valuable, not less valuable. And so AI flips from being a threat to yourself to your moat because you are going to be the reason that they are making money, not AI, not AI. Okay. Now, the last part of this is why is this important now in Q3, right? I know we're a few weeks into Q3 in July, right? But this back half of the year is your runway. Q3 buyers are deciding right now to use what's left of the year, whether it's their budget or their urgency, right? The window to build momentum is literally today. There is no holiday objections and there are no New Year's delays. We also wanted to start this on the 21st of July just because we're about to finish summer. How many of you have young kids, like kids under 15 years old? Let me know in the chat. Or 15 or under. How many of you have that? Is there several people in here that have little kids? Your prospects, awesome. Oh, your prospects, right, might give you the objection of, oh, it's summer. Oh, get back to me later. Summer's about to be over. You have this incredible runway pre-summer and pre-Christmas holiday time to maximize urgency. This is really your best bet of the whole year to crush it. And that's why we started this accelerator at this exact moment. That's why today, why we're starting. Okay. Let's talk about what success looks like in this accelerator. All right. First of all, one goal, making it easy. If I haven't made this clear, we're here to help you make money. We will teach you the tools of the trade to make you a 5% power user on Wave. We're not going to measure how many trainings that you show up to or calls that you attend. It's just simply if you are hitting your goals, not my goals, not Wave's goals, your goals. And we're going to measure one thing. Are you taking the action every single week? That's it. Show up, do the work between the calls, and then just be honest about where you're stuck. There is no judgment here. I will do my best. Richard will do our best. The WAVV team will do their best to support you on any questions you have. So all we need from you to do so is, besides the work, is fill out the client success form. Now I'm going to drop this link for you in case you haven't seen it yet. I'll drop it to everybody in the chat. I'd ask you to grab that form. Do not fill it out right now, please, please. I can see if you fill it out right now, by the way, because obviously we get a notification. So just wait until after the call. But if you haven't done this yet, please do it, because what we want to do, right, is we want to build the coaching around you instead of guessing. We want to build it around your needs, your specific needs. You're the one giving us the most valuable asset you have, your time. It is our responsibility that we reciprocate that with enough value to make it worthwhile. If you're giving us your time, I need to be able to give you money back. That's the responsibility. The best way to do that is by having this intake. It should not take you long, probably 2.5 to 3 minutes. From that insight, we will continue to build even better trainings ongoing. Okay? Pretty simple. Now, the mindset that's needed in order to win, especially in a grinding game like outbound, is that obstacles are opportunities. Now, I know this might sound like a little woo-woo or manifesty or whatever it may be. I know some people feel that way, but I truly believe this concept that a problem well explained is a problem half solved. You cannot fix what you won't name. So the moment that you can clearly state an obstacle, we're halfway to beating it. Think about it this way. If you're ignorant to a challenge right now, right? How could you fix it? So for example, not trying to put any bad juju on anyone, but right now, if there's a leak in your roof, but you don't know that there's a leak in your roof yet, you can't call someone to fix it, yeah? So what are you waiting for? The crack for the water to come pouring through? At that point, now it's already too late. The goal is to understand not just what the problems you currently are aware of, but also shining the lights on the ones we might be ignorant to. So we can name them right now. And that's what I want to do. I want to name these problems out loud so that we can turn these obstacles into opportunities, because myself, Caden, Cassie, Richard, the team at WAVV as a whole will have the results and resources to help you get that answer, to get you the help you need. So let's name them out loud. Where are you stuck right now is my question. Put it in the chat. Is it a volume problem? It's not enough leads or conversations, so you need to do more dials, or you need better quality leads from your provider? Is it booking, meaning the conversations you're having, you're just not getting enough of these people to actually book a call with you? That's what I want to know. Or is it the final number? Is it closing? You're on sales calls, you're ready to sell your product, but it's not happening, and then follow-up falls apart. Which one are you dealing with? What is your current challenge? Is it a volume issue? Is it a booking issue? Is it a closing issue? So somebody's saying, I need to get a better sense of my core objections. I need to get better quality leads. I need to get more volume going. My connection rate is challenging. Perfect. Calls are going to voicemail. Need more qualified leads. Perfect. This is great. Good, good. I need to export a better list. Overcoming fear of rejection. Good for you, Emmett, to be upfront about that. That's okay. No shows. Good. All of these things, all of these things are fixable. I love that, Charles. Yeah, pitcher's mentality, 100%. I like going with shooter's mentality, Charles. Steph Curry is what we say in our office. Steph Curry, you miss one, shoot it again. That's what we do. That's what we say. All the above. I love it. I'm a Kobe kind of guy. That's okay. No judgments. No judgments. I'm really a Dwayne Wade kind of guy. This is my guy. This is my guy. D Wade on my desk at all times as my inspiration. Inspiration every day. Awesome. Good. I love it. I love it. Good. When you drop this number one bottleneck, right? Naming it's the first step. It tells us exactly what to coach on. The good news is, right? The good news is we will help with all of these things. We will help with all of these things. We have answers for all of these things. That doesn't mean they're all easy, but we have the answers for them. And that's what we're going to do. Okay. Now, in order to do this the most effective way, we really have to follow this process that I call the define, design, do. These 3Ds are what turn a vague goal into a daily number you control. So I'm going to ask an obvious question, right? Every single person in here said they want to make money, right? Every single person. Do you think, let me know in the chat, do you think that every single person that wants to make money wants to make the same amount of money? Yes or no? Everybody wants to make the same amount of money or no? Okay, perfect. Good. A lot of you are writing to hosts and panelists, by the way, so not everyone else can see, but pretty much every answer is no, right? No, of course not. How would it be possible that everybody would have the same number. The thing is, if I say, does everybody want to make money? Then the answer is yes. If I say, does everyone want to be successful? The answer is yes. But then when we start to get to the nitty gritty, it becomes very vague. And the problem with vague goals is they're unachievable, right? So what I want to do is turn a vague goal into a daily number that you actually control, and we're going to build this together right now. And if you do this with me, instead of just like, oh, I'm just here to listen, if you actually do it, I promise you, you will have more clarity on what it will take you to win than you've ever had before, including what levers to pull to change it. Now, the math equation is pretty simple. It comes down to these elements. The amount of dials you make leads to a certain amount of conversations. Those conversations turn into appointments, sales calls, right? Those appointments turn into a certain number of closes. And when you consider the amount of closes and the amount of money you make per close, namely your commission, that's how much you're bringing in, right? So the first thing we need to do is start with our income goal and the why. Then we need to reverse engineer the math, meaning how many dials does it take to get a quality conversation? How many conversations do I need to book an appointment? How many appointments are needed to get a close? We work backwards to build your unique quota. A lot of people, I don't know if you're self-employed, let me know in the chat, or if you work for somebody. So self-employed or employed by, if you can just let me know, right? Awesome. Zero judgment, by the way. I genuinely don't care. I just want to know. Tons of people self-employed. So when you say self-employed, do you have the ability to control the amount of money you make per campaign? Like, can you change the price? Can you change the price? Let me know in the chat. So some no, some yes. You control everything. Okay, cool. It's kind of a mix. That's fine. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So this is really helpful to understand. All right. By the way, if you guys write your answer one time, I could see it. So, James, you're good. I see it when you write it the first time. No worries. So, all good there. If you have that control, you have the pricing lever control. It's huge. If you don't have that, then we have to control the other elements we have. What I want to do is make your success become mechanical. It's not hoping for sales, it's hitting a target. It's a math equation. Let's just hear this as an example really quick. If somebody goes to the gym, okay, and they want to lose 100 pounds in 4 months, I'm giving you super simple math here. 100 pounds in 4 months. In the first 2 months, they lost 60 pounds. Are they ahead? Are they on track? Are they behind? Write it in the chat. Cool. Good. Ahead. Simple math. Awesome. Now, the difference is if the goal was vague and somebody just said, I want to lose weight, right? And you say, well, how are you doing 2 months in? What does most human psychology say? I'm behind. I'm not happy with my progress. This is what we want to avoid. This is the number one, first, and most important step to being a 5% success story within Wave, knowing your actual numbers. And so, what I'm going to do is I'll drop this document for you. Every single one of you should be able to grab this and make a copy. If you prefer a PDF, let me know. Just drop it in the chat and I will make a PDF for you. I'm actually just going to do it anyways. So, you can have it if you'd like. Oh, really? Multiple people are named James? Okay, that makes sense. Guys, if your name is James Madison, but you're not James Madison, you could press the three buttons on the side and change your name. That's hilarious. I was like, how are you in five different places at one time? That makes sense. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to drop this for you guys right now as well. So you should be able to grab it either in a Google Doc, either way, or, or you can get it in your PDF. Okay. Once you have it pulled up, let me know. Just drop a one in the chat so I know, and we're going to continue here. It's really, really important that you have this document for yourself, and we're going to get rocking. Perfect. Good, good, good. All right. Excellent. So here's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to run through this together live. Please, please believe me that doing this live is going to make a massive difference for you. I promise. Okay. Now, I want to note that as we go through this, right, these percentages, they're targets, right? These are not guarantees. What's going to happen is you're going to learn your numbers over the next 2 weeks or so. And then that's the whole point of why we track this. If your close rate is actually going to be 15%, then the math just tells you to fix that lever. That's the idea. So let's run through this one at a time. You do not have to share these with us publicly. You're more than welcome to, but it could be private. Just put in your monthly income goal. Put in your monthly income goal. Put your monthly income goal into here. Okay? Very simple. I put an example of $10,000 in commission just to make it easy. I used a large round number. So somebody said for the company or personally, it's your choice. You can choose. I'd probably just go with personally so you can see what it takes to hit your personal goals, but it's your choice. Some people are like, is it a revenue thing? Is it a profit thing? You can do it on both of them. You can do it on both. But the main thing is get your money, right? The next question is why? Now, I'll give you like a minute to consider this, but I really strongly recommend that you think this through separately from this conversation, right? Because if you don't have clarity of your why, you're just never going to actually push through the difficult times because then goals don't feel purposeful, right? I'll give you guys a quick vulnerable reality here. 5.5 years ago, I had open heart surgery when my wife was 5 months pregnant with our son, which was terrible. 0 out of 5 stars, not a good experience. Thank God I lived. My wife is again 5 months pregnant with another child, which we're extremely blessed for. I was 29 years old when I had the surgery. I'm 34 now. I'm alive and well, thank God. Not AI, I'm a real person. Um, and I think at that point, most of my goals were just fairy tale land goals. My goals were more. I want more money. I just want more. Why? Because that was the answer. So I never felt satisfied. Nothing was ever good enough. And if I was satisfied in any way, suddenly satisfied was a bad word. Like, how dare me be satisfied? I need to work harder. I need to hustle harder. I need to push further. I know a lot of us resonate with this and understand where I'm coming from. But the truth is, my why is so crystal clear now, right? And you already know what's coming, right? This is my why. This is my why. That's my son. That's my wife. That's our little brother that's coming. Really excited. We're so blessed. I will welcome 1,000 problems in life because if we have 1,000 problems, that means we don't have one problem. Because when I had my health problem, when I had my heart surgery, I only had one problem. I had a bicuspid aortic valve. They had to change my heart valve, open heart surgery, and put in a mechanical heart valve. I'm basically Iron Man, just have less hair, and I'm not a movie star, unfortunately. But joking aside, I'm so blessed to be here. And so the whole idea for you is what's your why? I don't want you to have to wait till, God forbid, something tragic happening, right? I want good things for you. I want the best for you. And I know you want that for yourself too. And I know you want that for other people on this call. So have clarity on the why. Know what you're actually doing this for. Don't just keep pushing for no reason. There needs to be purpose, right? And that's me being vulnerable to you. So you understand why I do this. Why do I do this? Because I need to represent my kid well. I need to represent my name well. I need to represent this second opportunity I have well. That if I can make a difference for you and your family, that means I'm doing something right. And that's super important to me. So that's the answer. Okay. That's the answer. So let's design this path now. Okay. Let's design this path. What's your average commission per closed deal? Put it in there. What's your average commission per closed deal? Somebody's name here is Nate Washington. He used to play for the Tennessee Titans. I don't know if that's you. I doubt it, but just saying, random. What's your average commission per deal? You guys can drop it in the chat if you want, but more importantly, make sure you put it into the document. That's the key piece. So you can do the math. Do the math with me on the call. I promise it will be worthwhile. I promise. I promise. Okay? So I put an average of 750 just for the sake of it. I think that's probably pretty accurate. Seems like a couple people are a bit higher, which is good. The higher it is, obviously, the better, but this is the idea. No worries, Nate. Um, the next question is, how many sales calls, right? How many closes, sorry, do you need to hit your goal? So it's a simple math equation. So for example, somebody put in 1,200. So I want to do it live just so you can see. Okay. So if your goal was to make $50,000 a month and you have a $1,200 commission, that means you need 41 sales per month, which might make you realize, oh man, that's a lot more than I thought. Now, as an example, right? If you say my goal is to hit 25,000 and I have a $3,200 offer, I need 7 closes or 8 closes, and you'll see it's a lot more viable, right? So the question is, how many closes do you need to hit your goal? Don't worry about whether or not you're happy with the number right now. Just put it in for here, okay? Just put it in for now. Put it in. The next one is going to be your close rate on appointments. Now, I would be conservative on this. I'd be conservative. What your close rate is, meaning when you get on a sales call, what is your close rate? Are you closing 1 out of 4? Are you closing 1 out of 5? I put in 1 out of 4. I think that's probably pretty good for most of you, but it might be too lofty for some of you. Maybe you need to be at 10%. Maybe you need to be at 20%. Put it in. So your number, put it in, and that's how many calls, right? So if it's 20%, it's 1 in 5. If it's 10%, it's 1 in 10, right? Okay. Next up, everyone on track with me, guys? If you're on track, drop a one, let me know. If anybody has any questions before I continue, please tell me. I'm just checking the Q&A to see if I missed anything. Awesome, guys. Thanks for playing full out. Appreciate it. I promise this is worth it. I promise. Nothing I would ever coach or do would ever be to waste somebody's time. As you know, how important time is to me, particularly based on what I shared with you. Okay, good. All right, now how many sales appointments do you need? So now what you're going to do is you're going to take the number of closes you need, divided by your close rate, and that will give you the number of sales appointments you need. And this is how we hit a mechanical target. So in this framework, right, we have an average policy of $750 per commission. We want to make $10,000, which means we need about 14 sales. We close 25% of deals, so 1 in 4, right? So that's 14 divided by 0.25 or whatever your close rate is, which means I need 56 sales calls. Now this helps me understand, right? So just skipping before we go to E, right? If you know off the top of your head, on average, you're doing 15 calls per month, right? 56 divided by 15. Okay, so you're like, oh, within like 3.5, 4 months, I should hit my goal. Now, are you happy with that or no? That's what it comes down to. That's the idea. So you know the math. You're not guessing. You know the math. Okay. Next up, this is where it's going to get a little bit more detailed, but it's very valuable to have this, particularly for outbound dialing. Okay. What percentage of the conversations you have become appointments? Now, I think this might be lofty for some of you based on the stuff you've shared, but I would love if you guys were able to get to a 20% rate where every single conversation you have, out of 5 of them, you're going to get at least one of them to book a sales call or a sales appointment, right? So what's your number? Put it in. So again, maybe your number is 10%. Maybe it's actually 1 out of 10 conversations. Maybe it's higher. Maybe it's 50%. Maybe it's 2 out of 4, right? Like Mark just said. It just depends on where you're at, right? Again, always better to be conservative so that when you review the numbers thereafter, you're not super disappointed. That's the goal. Okay. So now, how many conversations do you need based off of that? That's the idea. How many conversations do you need? So you have a total number, which is appointments. We need 56 appointments, right? So you're going to take your number from D. You need 56 appointments based off of your 20% conversion rate to sales appointments. That means you need 280 conversations, meaning when you're dialing, you need 280 conversations, right? To be able to get to your goal. 280. Does that make sense? Everyone clear on that? Okay, good. And then how many dials does it take to get one conversation? So this is exactly what Charles just said. How many dials does it take to get one conversation? So is it getting one conversation every 20 dials, Charles? Is it one conversation every 10 dials? Is it one conversation every 5 dials? What do you think it is? One conversation every 30 dials? Now, in wave reporting, by the way, if you just take your total dials, dividing it by your total number of conversations, that can be your ratio. You can track this in the future also. So how many dials does it take to get one conversation? Right? Okay. So then how many total dials do you need? So conversations times dials per conversation. So I need 280 conversations. Okay. And I know that every 20 that I do is going to be at least one. That means I need 5,600 dials this month. 5,600 dials this month. And then you do the work. So you divide your monthly dials by your working days. So if you do 20 working days, which is 5,600, let's say, divided by 20, it's 280 dials a day. Now, many of you are doing anywhere from 150 to 400 dials a day. So you're probably right within your target. Now we have an actual math equation. Now you know exactly what's needed. Now, you might look at these numbers and it might be very alarming to you. Like, whoa, these numbers are way out of whack. At least you have the awareness. Going back to my heart surgery, just as an example to really like hit this home, if I didn't have the doctor's knowledge that I had a problem, I might very well be on this call right now with a 5-year old and a pregnant wife without a fixed heart because I didn't know I had a problem and I could just die any day. Straight up, real talk. This is real life. This is not BS. But I had the awareness, so I got it fixed. Thankfully, none of your stakes right now, thank God, are not heart surgery. So you might look at these numbers and be like, whoa, like I need to improve my close rate, or I need to be dialing way more, or I need better leads, or I need to be booking more sales calls for my conversations, right? That's the idea. Success is no longer opaque, it becomes mechanical. We're not hoping for sales anymore. We're just hitting targets. And then every single week you optimize, and it comes down to three things: action, data, optimization. We take action, we get the data, and then we optimize from that to take better action, which gives us better data, which gives us better optimizations to take better actions, and it never ends. So when you look at this, you should know exactly what to optimize now. Do you need more dials? Do you need better conversations? Do you need to improve your close rate? And if you control it, do you need to increase your price? Now, for those that control it, just for clarity, this is definitely the easiest thing to change. So, for example, if right now your average is $1,000 and you can change it to $1,500, you have the control of doing that, right? Well, now you've just effectively reduced all of your numbers by 33%. Pretty good. Pretty good. Does everyone see the value in this? Does this make sense? If you see the value in this, can you let me know with a 5 in the chat so we're on the same page? And if you have any questions, please let me know. I want to make sure you're clear on this. This makes sense. We're on the same page. Okay, good. Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the idea. Getting your numbers. That's it. That's what we're here to do. That's okay, Paul. No worries. No worries if you're new. So, Jordan, the first thing we got to do before we talk about how to actually make more money is make sure you have targets. Smile and dial, baby. I love it. Awesome. Good. Beautiful. Excellent. All right. So now that we have your numbers, right? You know exactly your targets to hit. So now let's talk about what we do with these targets. So I just explained this, right? Action data optimization. Just over time, the more you optimize with the data you have that WAVV provides for you, the easier it will be to know what levers to pull. More dials, higher price, improved close rate, easy. So this is what we're going to do to start making money this week, today. This is what I want you doing. Okay. We're going to talk about the first money move right now, how to reactivate your pipeline. Okay. I want to prove to you how this works today so that if you follow this model, you will have sales by the next time we speak. Okay. There is already opportunity sitting in your pipeline. So we're going to use this 3-line database reactivation framework. It works for every industry, every niche. We have seen this time and time and time and time again. Yes, I will share the link for you guys. Number one, call out their obstacle. Simply show you understand the challenge that they're dealing with. Number two, proof that you can help a specific similar result that you have. Everybody wants to know that you have that experience or result previously. And then number three is just an easy next step, an easy way to get them to book a call with you and chat with you. Now, the WAVV method is double dialing. Use the double dial feature. Use it. Most people that dial only call one time and then they're screened. Call the second time. You have a much higher pickup rate on the second time. If you are not double dialing, you need to do that. Now, I want to note this related to compliance, right? I'm not a compliance specialist, okay? You have to follow your company's and state guidelines and also whatever regulatory commissions are associated with your specific industry. I work with attorneys, for example, at my marketing agency, right? That business has very strict compliance rules. So I'm not here to teach you anything that's against compliance. I'm just telling you what's the best methodology. You have to make sure it fits compliance. Okay. Just making sure. So again, double dial, and then you're going to pair it within your CRM with a text or email. Now, if you can automate this, it would be even better. A lot of the CRMs help you do this, but that's what we're looking for. Multi-touch, which increases your pickup rates and increases your trust. Especially so if you can send an email the day before, and then that's all the people you're calling the following day, right? Charles said, does double dialing increasing our likelihood of burning our numbers? I'll let Wave answer that on the tech side of things. All that I know, Charles, is that the delta of burning your number versus the pickups will always beat it. Nate asked, can Wave help allow you to double dial? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. Strongly recommend double dialing. Cannot recommend it enough. Cannot recommend it enough. Now let's talk about how we actually do this, okay? The CPR framework, all right? So how do you stand out in a saturated market where every single person is vying for attention? We have to resuscitate our leads. Yes, it's corny, but it still works. With CPR, context, personalization, and relevance. That's what we're here to do. Context, personalization, and relevance. The context is referencing a past interaction. Personalization is something specific to them. Relevance is why this matters now. Vague outreach is ignored. If you're speaking to an avatar, meaning this is a person who could buy insurance, or this is a person who could buy your solar, or this is a person that could invest into financial advising, right? You're not selling to the person, you're selling to an avatar. Specific outreach is how you get a response. Specific outreach is how you get a response. So here's what this looks like in action. Okay. So I get him an example for final expense in life insurance just as a sample. And then the one below it is going to be like more neutral. Now, again, this would be to a lead that you spoke with before, but just never finished setting up coverage for any reason, which I'm sure happens all the time for you guys. So it looks like this: 3, 2, 1. Hey, Chris, it's Alex. We spoke a few weeks ago about final expense coverage and just wanted to make sure your family wasn't left with that funeral bill. I know it was really important to you and top of mind. I know at the time you were weighing it against the budget you currently have and life gets busy, so it probably slipped. I'm just reaching out now because I really wanted to help get your families that locked in coverage around the cost of essentially the monthly subscription services that you're probably paying for. And I didn't want you to keep pushing something off that's this important. Do you have a few minutes this week we can talk about it and I could show you the situation and break it down for you? Maybe tomorrow at 2 o'clock? No pressure either way. I'm just here to help. Easy peasy. Simple. Simple model. Now, obviously, fit this to your specific offer and market with context, personalization, and relevance, right? But having this framework, this is what helps you stand out from the crowd versus, hi, I'm calling from Mutual Life and I'm here to talk about your benefits. And it's just like exhausting and nobody wants to deal with it. This one's more neutral for any offer, which looks like this. Hey, name, it's Alex from Prospecting on Demand. We, reached out back in July about talking how we can help you generate more business, right? At the time you mentioned you wanted to make more money, but you were struggling with it and then things kind of just fell off. I'm just circling back because I recently helped somebody in a similar spot make another $10,000 in recurring revenue. And it made me think of our conversation. Like, are you open to a quick 15-minute call this week so I can walk you through it? Worst case, you walk away with some ideas that you can actually use. Are you available tomorrow at 3 o'clock? That's it. That's it. Jen asked, will you send us these? Yes, I'm going to give you this whole document, both documents on this call. Okay? Both documents. Of course. So now this is the commitment time, right? You built your number, and now we just got to take the first step towards it. The action, in my opinion, would be pulling the last 90 days of your wave pipeline. So you asked, how do we make money? What do I do? This is it. This is how you do it. You understand the container. You know the mindset required. You know why we're doing this accelerator. You know what we're bringing to the table and how we're going to do it. You know your specific numbers. You know the CPR framework. You know how to do database reactivation. Now it's your job to do it. I'm not even asking for a crazy high number of people. I'm talking about like 10 to 20 prospects. Run the framework today. It's 2:45 Eastern, right? So I'm assuming some of you will still be calling after this, right? Book all the appointments within 24 hours. You should have a higher show up rate if you do that, right? So in the chat, I want to know, like, how many people are you going to reach out to before the next call? Say the number. We'll hold you to it. That's what accountability actually is. How many people you actually reach out to? And I think this is important because especially so when we do boot camps or accelerators, people say like, oh, well, I didn't sign up for homework. This isn't homework. This is the work. This is how you'll actually make money. This is what you came here for. This is what you put your time in for. That's the idea. Now, I'll have plenty of time for Q&A for you. Before we do that, I want you to see what the next session accelerator schedule is. Kimberly, I'll answer that question in 1 second. So on Thursday at 2 o'clock, we're going to talk about appointment setting mastery, specifically about how to sell on a call before you sell a on the sales call. So selling a call is critical. Knowing how to actually get people to show up, what the benefit and value of it is, it's kind of similar to this concept. Worst case, you walk away with an idea you can use. It's very important that you get people to be interested in the call itself before they pay you anything. It's very, very important. So we're going to teach that on Thursday, July 23rd, same exact time. I think it's the same link, but check for with Wave on the link so you have it, and that's what we'll cover. Now, the sessions thereafter, I'm going to cover the next one, which will be follow-up systems that can convert, which is next Tuesday. Then the next Wednesday, we're going to be doing live dialing actually for you. Now, what we'll do is you provide us with leads. We will call them on your behalf as long as it's compliant and we're allowed to do so. And it won't be like calling our moms or our friends. We're going to literally do live calling so you can see what it looks like to try to book appointments. And it will be messy. It will be not perfect, but that's the whole point. We're not going to ask you to do work that we wouldn't do ourselves. We want to help you tactically. That's the idea. Okay. And then next Thursday will be objection handling, basically like gatekeepers, how to deal with that stuff, which of course we'll be sharing over the next few sessions anyways, but it's going to be specific to that one. And yes, all of them will be recorded for you. All of them. Okay. All of them. All right. Now, this being said, I will drop this document for you so you guys can have it. And then I'll answer any questions you have. So just for clarity on the Wave side of things, right? Every single session, they're going to send Wave specific content that will pair with this. So you understand you have the tactical product knowledge to leverage the insight we're sharing on how to do appointment setting. Okay. So let me drop this for you. So that is the first session. That's the document I just shared. Okay. Can we get a URL with sign up link for these upcoming events? I'm sure Wave can get that for you, so you have access to it, no problem. Somebody asked about voicemail. Do you recommend leaving a voicemail? Definitely, definitely. It's not that you can do the voicemail drop within Wave. I'm not saying it's super effective by any means, but at least it's efficient. It's not like a hard thing to do. So I would definitely be doing that. The bigger piece is multiple touch points, which is hard when you're doing obviously just dialing. But that's why I advise if you're also using your CRM, try to combine it with an automation that sends out the messages that's like, hey, I called you about this thing. Can we chat about it, etc., using the exact same framework that I'm referencing here, the CPR. That's the idea. Can you send the Google Doc link? No problem. Let me make sure I edit this for you. So if I do anyone with the link can view, and then I'll send it. I got you, Wayne. No problem. Copy. There you go. Just dropped it for you. I'm not sure what you mean, not seeing the PDF of notes. I'm not sure what that means. Of the call schedule, I just dropped it a second ago. I'll drop it again. Hold on one second. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm not sure. I don't think you're using the Q&A function, but if there's just in general questions about the session, anything that I can help you with, I got your back. Let me just go get you the link again, and I will send this over to you and go from there. All right. Okay, should be able to have that now. Yes, sir. Charles, we'll see you Thursday. Absolutely. If there's any general sales questions you have or appointment setting questions, please feel free to ask. If not, I hope you enjoyed the first session. Please, please, please do the math. Please, it will help you. It's very important. It's absolutely critical. It makes a huge difference for you. You're welcome. James Madison, number 75. James asked, will you show where the double dial function is? Yeah, Wave can show that to you. No problem, Jen. You got it. You got it. No worries. I've never seen 17 James Madisons on one call. I hope next session we get a little bit of like Alexander Hamilton and maybe Thomas Jefferson. I don't know if that joke landed or not. I didn't get any laughs. Whatever. It's all good. Is there anything I can clarify for anybody on the session today? What's the best way to get leads that could boost my appointment rates? Mark, what do you sell? So I know I would have to go back up to see. Can you tell me what you sell, Mark, and I will do that for you? Cassie, you dropped that to host and panelists only, so I'm just dropping it for everybody. I just dropped the link for you guys on double dialing help. Yeah, James, Wave is doing a lot of integrations with high level. You can ask them on there. They have, weekly calls about this as well. So you got clarity. Yeah, that makes sense, Kimberly. Home improvement, backup batteries paired with solar panels. Interesting. What would be the best way to get leads? I'd probably use something like D7 Lead Finder. Probably something like that would be my recommendation. Is it your company, Mark, or do you have like a marketing agency working with you? Like, how do you currently get leads? Somebody asked if they can use Wave separate from GHL. I'll let the Wave team explain that to you. They can support you on that particularly. Just seeing if I missed any questions on here. So somebody asked a little while ago, I don't know if they're still here. It was one of the James Madisons. They asked that the coaching is modeled on wave winners, but what if it doesn't apply to people with a different use case? Will the feedback be for small fish that use wave differently? 100%. That's why going through the intake form is key. Like we're here to build it for you. What's beneficial for you is the key. That's what I want to do. That's how we want to build it. So just give me that insight and I got your back. Yeah, the James Madison thing is funny. I sell mortgage loans. I usually try to make my pitch or an interest on that initial call. It's better to try to make an appointment instead. Yeah, for sure, Emmett. For sure. It's really hard to cold sell somebody. Um, the idea that you don't have a prospect that opted in or no, or maybe they opted in, but they don't necessarily know who you are or what you're selling, and then you're going to call them randomly in the midst of their day and try to sell them like a mortgage loan. I don't see that to be super valuable. I think if the urgency isn't really as important because, you're saying on one side it's important to not wait, but then urgency isn't really as important. So I'm not sure I understand that. If you can clarify that. But what I would be doing is setting up an appointment with the benefit of what the appointment's for. So when you're selling an appointment, and we'll talk about this more in the future, it's identifying like what's the benefit of coming to that call, not the benefit of buying the product. So coming to that call, like if you join me on the call, Emmett, you're going to learn the insight to maximize your mortgage or to get the highest loan rate or to make sure your money's going the farthest way. There's no pressure on my end. Give me 15 minutes and I'll show you. And then if you want to work with me, we can talk about it. That is the framing that you'd be using. James asked where the recordings will be hosted. I believe the Success Center, if Wave can confirm that, I believe that's correct. Mark asked, will Wave be sending out invites to the next sessions? The answer is yes. And Cassie said, as she's noted, recap email will go out with the Success Center as well. When rates were crazy low, you had to get them. Right, right, right. Yep, I get that. I get that. Yeah, I think, Emmett, it's still about you have unique knowledge that your prospects do not have. And so they need to get on a call to learn that knowledge, and then you could sell them because of it. I'm just reading this one here. I love it. I love it. I wish I knew who was writing this instead of James Madison, but it's good. Yeah, so Nate, I think again, like for life insurance lead recommendations, if you tell me like, do you own the company? Do you work for a life insurance company? Let me know. Yeah, Wolf of Wall Street's a good movie. I'm not a big fan of Jordan, to be honest, but I do like the movie. Nate, what's the company? I'm just seeing if there's anything I missed. How much is too much when reaching out to leads? Double dial in the morning. I don't get too worried about like how much is too much, honestly. Like I just don't focus on that. Because at the end of the day, it's like I'd rather be focused on knowing what the line is by doing too much than being worried about controlling something I don't know. Like I don't know what the line is going to be, you know? Do I think you should call them every 5 minutes? No, I don't think so. Is it okay to try once in the morning, once in the afternoon? Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, I'm just seeing if I missed anything. Broker get paid from the life insurance company. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like marketing companies that do that. If not, it would just be like a list of people in your area to call. But then it's like cold calling. I don't know if that's compliant for life insurance providers. I have no idea. I'm not sure. If it is allowed, then I would for sure do that. Like I would be calling every single person that I'm assuming, I'm not saying this is right, but if you go to church or if you have like a local community, I'd call every single person, every single one, all of them. Again, is that allowed? I don't know that. You would have to tell me. If not, and they have to opt in, then you need to run ads or do SEO. Or reach out on LinkedIn. So having those elements, that would be kind of my thought process. More questions, I can give you better answers, but that's the framework. I got a few more minutes if there's any other questions or any other clarifications anyone wants. If not, I really appreciate you guys jumping on the call. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did as well. We had really good attendance for this first session. Richard's going to bring the heat for you guys on Thursday. I'll be back next Tuesday. We're here to help you. That's it. We're here to help you, serve you, support you, help you win. Do the math, do the numbers. Let's put together a game plan and let's go kick some butt. That's really what we're here to do. There's still a lot of you on the call. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask. If not, hop off and I'll see you soon. Looking forward to it. Of course, Nate. It's my pleasure. I would love to know how many James Madisons were on this call. I think it's like 20 people. That's hilarious. It's incredible. Hey, you got it, Roy. No worries. No worries, Don. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. I wish you guys all the best. If there's no more questions, I wish you all good health, most importantly, happiness and prosperity for you and your family. All of you are capable of this. This is not a tech problem. You have the best tech there is. This is not an effort problem. You guys will put in the effort. This is simply an understanding of how to have the appropriate skills to maximize what you have available to you. And that's what we're here to do. That's what we're here to help with. Okay. You got it. No worries. No worries, James Madison. Don, what's your question? I got you. Did you want to write it, Don, or you want me to make you a panelist? I can do that. That's fine. Let's see if I can make Don a panelist. Allow to talk. All right, Don, you should be able to talk now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hit it by accident.
Oh, no, you're good. No worries. No worries at all. I'm glad you came. I hope to see you on Thursday.
You will. Thank you.
Awesome. Talk to you then. All right. Is there any other questions, guys, before we go? Anything else? Remember, no wrong, bad, or dumb questions. The only one that's wrong, bad, or dumb is the one that isn't asked. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We're here to help you. I was going crazy in the beginning, guys, of this James Madison. I was like, how are you in Arizona and in Florida and in Vegas at the same time? Like, why are you messing with me? It's the funniest thing ever. Oh, it's incredible. Amazing. Awesome. James is always watching. I love it. Always present. James, what I don't know how to make you talk because there's like 20 Jameses, but the ones that said, are we going to deal how to deal with AI call assistants? Do you mean like somebody like when you pick up, like the one when they pick up, it's like, tell me what you're calling about. That one, is that what you mean? Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that. The answer is there's not a lot that you could do, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. You could be sneaky, but like, in the general sense, you could just be sneaky. Like, hey, it's James. I want to talk about this thing. Or, hey, I need to talk with you. Like, you can do those things. None of them are great, right? I know you're not James. I'm just saying that's what's your name. It's too good. That's too good. It's too good. What's an across all industry standard connection rate for cold prospecting? Ugh. It's hard to say. Across all, I don't think there's a good number I can give you, James, other James Madison. Yeah, everyone's name is James Madison on the chat, so you can see. Across all industry standard connection rate, it does say James. Yeah. I would say 5%. I'd say 5% probably. 5% is probably a decent one. Hard to say. Hard to say. Not good, I'll tell you that. It's not good. Yeah, you guys can't see it. Every person is James. All the last 10 messages is James, but they're all different people. So we'll fix it for Thursday. Or maybe instead everybody will be James, and that'll be even more fun. That'll be even more fun if we do it that way. No, I love it. I love it. All right, fam. It was great to meet all of you. I appreciate you guys. Mark said I'm James too. No worries if you're traveling, it's okay. You can watch the replay and then I'll be back next Tuesday. But look, we're here to support you, we're here to serve you, we're here to help you. Let's go make this a great win for everybody. We appreciate your time greatly. I'll see you on the next one.